In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn ordinary street photography into AI artwork. Let's get into it. I've been using various AI art programs for a while now, such as Midjourney, Leonardo AI, and this program here, which is Playground AI. I've tested them all out for this purpose of creating a mashup between my photos and AI art style, and I found that Playground AI is definitely the best at retaining the structure and details of my image, while also instilling some AI artwork magic. The only drawback is that it doesn't have the fine detail and artistry of a program such as Midjourney, but it still does a very good job of creating some beautiful artwork. Hopefully, by the end of this video, I can inspire you to try something like this out for yourselves. So this image that I picked for this task is one of my photos that I shot in my hometown of Rye in East Sussex. This is the world famous Mermaid Street. Let me tell you, if you bring your camera onto the street and start taking photos, you literally cannot go wrong, as every single part of this street is photographable. The best time of day to shoot here though is when I shot this, which is at sunset. So this is Playground AI, and this is the interface that we will be using. Let's just go through a few of the important details. At the top right here is the most important slider for this task. The higher the value of the edit instruction strength, the closer the image becomes more like the prompt, which completely changes the style of the image. The lower the value keeps the image looking like my image as opposed to a completely different artwork. This is the quality and details slider. I always keep this to the max as I want as much quality and details as possible, and it doesn't really bother me how long it takes the image to generate as long as I get as much detail as possible. In reality, it really doesn't take very long to generate an image at all, even with the slider pushed to the max. I'm not bothering with the seed, but if I wanted to have very similar looking images, I would untick this box. It can be useful, but it's just not for what we are trying to achieve here today. And on the left, the edit instruction box is where we write a prompt for how we want the image to look. It's not like Midjourney, where you have to provide as much details as possible and have a whole host of dash parameters to alter the look of the image. Here, you simply want one simple sentence as your prompt. So I was thinking that this photo would look interesting if it had a steampunk art style mixed in with it. I think that all of the medieval houses on this street lends themselves to a kind of a steampunk artistry. Let's start by typing in the prompt. Let's also keep the instruction strength low. That way we can see how the AI progresses with each generation we make. As you can see, with the instruction strength of 2, nothing has changed. You're also able to see that the image looks quite soft. This is unfortunately because the detail is just not fine enough using this program, along with using my own images to create something new. It does use stable diffusion, just like Leonardo AI and also like the stable diffusion software, but I think the softness is the only drawback of using my own reference image. The major plus point is that the end result has pretty much the same structure as my composition. Let's increase the strength to 4. Well, there's definitely a change in the tone, if nothing else. Okay, let's go up to 6. Now we are starting to see some interesting details. The sky has changed beautifully with some light creeping through. In the distance you can see a tower looming over the houses. I like that. On the foliage on the right there are some gears, cogs and parts. That is typical of steampunk artistry. Also, it looks like the windows have taken on a much more artistic detail. But let's now go a little further. Wow, that is awesome. I love the colours in the sky and the ominous tower in the distance. I also love how the unusual cogs and details are placed over the Mermaid pub. Most importantly, I love how the original structure of Mermaid Street is still exactly the same. Also, the house opposite, which is actually called the house opposite, pretty much looks the same. Let's hit generate one more time. This is great. The light is incredible. I just love how it's reflected on the cobblestones. We now have these magical fairy lights dancing in the sky, floating all around the street. There are also some enchanting lights in this wall here and scattered on some other houses. Plus there is an interesting arch on the right here, but most of all I just love how the clouds have parted. Let's save this image and crisp it up in Lightroom. Right, to download this we need to upscale it by 4x. Right, let's head over to Lightroom. I just want to do a few minor things to this image to give it some sharper details. It looks really crisp at this size, but once it fills the screen, it looks quite soft. Right, let's add some clarity. Those of you that know me know that I like to be quite subtle when adding clarity to my images. I even add minus clarity most of the time. But this is not a photo anymore, it's now a piece of art enhanced by AI. Let's also increase the shadows a tad, and also increase the blacks. Let's also just add a small S-curve using the tone curve tool. And let's just add a little bit of texture as well. I just want to see what happens if I increase the clarity even more. At the same time, I don't want to overdo it, so I'll reduce it slightly. Right, finally, let's add some sharpening. It's looking good. Now let's take it into Topaz Gigapixel to increase the overall dimensions of the image. So this is Topaz Gigapixel. I don't use this program that often. Let's use the lines mode, which is great for architecture and any images with thick lines. Let's just save this and see what the final image looks like. So this is the final image. It certainly looks better when it's not blown up. I'm sure that as time goes on, this kind of technology will only get better. But it also kind of looks cool as a sort of a rustic painted artwork that somebody might have created. This is the original, and this is the AI steampunk version that we have now created. Here are a few tips from me. Play around with the instruction strength. Don't settle for the first image that comes out of Playground AI. Move the slider about a bit to see how different instruction strengths change your image. Create a portfolio. In my mind, what separates photography and AI art mashups with purely generated AI artwork is that you are creating something new from your own creative work. So why stop at one image? Just like with your own photography portfolio, create a portfolio of urban landscape photography AI mashups. Experiment with different artists. It's not just steampunk that you can use to blend your photography with AI. There are thousands of artists that you can draw inspiration from and create mashups with. I will leave a link in the description below to a website with artists that you can use for your AI experiments. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments below. If you guys want to see how I shoot my street photography, check this video out here. This has to be one of the best beaches in the world. Thanks for watching and go forth and create.